Hey everyone, this is Virdelet. I won't count anymore. Pokemon X into my Wi-Fi battle. Oh, today we have a match against a guy called Jiro, or Zero, or whatever. I think he's Spanish, so that Japanese Jiro is irrelevant. Anyways, the reason I challenged this guy, he was in my passerbys, and his personal message was still undefeated. So I saw how many wins he had, and he had around 150 something wins. So I was sort of impressed. So I brought my best team. This is my A team. I barely lose with this team, like 2 losses to 10 wins. I mean, what's the ratio? Yeah, 8 to 2 or whatever. So let's stop talking and let's see if I fare well against this guy. Let's do this. Whoopsie, gotta mute the phone. Okay, so I expected him to lead off with his Rotom Wash, which he does exactly. So I lead off with my Charizard, and I go for Solar Beam because you know it will take out the Rotom Wash, or at least do shit ton of damage. And even if he went for Hydro Pump, it's not gonna do anything. But he goes for Volt Switch. It's surprisingly he's faster. At this point I wasn't sure if he's Scarfed or not, because Rotom can't outspeed Charizard, but you know, just in case. So I go for the Solar Beam because, you know, I didn't expect him to be faster, which hits the Blissey. And now I know he's gonna want to go for Toxic. I don't want anything to be toxic on this team. So Charizard is gonna have to take the Toxic for everyone else. And now I have to switch out the Charizard after taking the Toxic, expecting either the Seismic Toss or the Soft Boiled. Most likely the Soft Boiled. I go into my Pyroar. He uses Soft Boiled. The sun is on my side, so I'm not scared of this thing yet. And I go for Taunt to, you know, cripple Blissey. Blissey is almost crap without its non-attacking moves. And now I go for Will-O-Wisp. I know it has Natural Cure, but I expected a switch, to be honest. But he stays in and goes for a Seismic Toss, which will do a lot considering Pyroar has only 162 HP and Seismic Toss does around 50 HP. Anyways, he withdraws the Chansey. Goes back into Rotom. At this point I wasn't sure, like I said, if he's Scarfed or not. So I go for Solar Beam. I have the Power Herb, so Solar Beam will attack instantly. But he's faster and he goes for Volt Switch. And I lose 18, or I only have, I'm at low health right now, which is really bad. So he goes into his Scizor, obviously for the Bullet Punch. I use Solar Beam. Scizor is unaffected at all. He's going for Bullet Punch. I need to save the Pyroar for later, you know, to taunt the Chansey. I go into my Garchomp. I have the Rocky Helmet. This does way too much damage considering I'm invested in HP and defense. So, but not fully. So that Bullet Punch does way too much. Another Bullet Punch, it's gonna be a 3-hit KO. But thank God for the Rocky Helmet and the Rough Skin, adding to it the I went for Dragon Claw. I was 100% sure he'd switch out, seeing how much damage he didn't do to me. But at this point I decided to leave my Garchomp in. We're both going to go down because of my over prediction. But at least his Scizor is out. No more priorities for him, I think. So I go into my Scarfed stock. He goes into his Scarfed Rotom. And I'm faster, so take that Rotom. Rotom goes down. No more Rotom for us. Or for him. This is really good to surprise people with the Scarfed stock. He goes into his Gengar, which turns out to be... yeah, this is my chest banded Taurus, by the way. So he turns out to be Mega Gengar, which is surprisingly the fear of the world. Goes for Dazzling Gleam. And it does a little bit over half. And then he goes for Sludge Bomb. I can't switch out, obviously. And then I go down. I go back into my Scarfed Sock, and I have two options. Either to Close Combat expecting something else, or to Earthquake. Because at this point I think he only has the Mega Gengar and the Blissey. I go for Earthquake, he predicts that nicely and switches out. Oh yes, right, he has the Dragonite. So I'm locked into Earthquake, and I'm also trapped because, you know, the ability Shadow Tag. So I switch out, go into my Ansarkiva. He goes for Dragon Dance, which usually this is really scary. Dragon Dance and Dragonite. Ooh, shit. But Avalag is a beast and can take any physical hit no matter what. Look at this pitiful damage. I go for Avalanche, destroy the Dragonite completely. Now he's down to his Excadrill, Chansey, and Mega Gengar. I get a little bit of leftovers recovery. He goes into his Excadrill, which has the Mold Breaker. Okay, so yeah, he goes for Earthquake. This will do way more damage than Tyranitar, considering it's stab, and I think he's Life Orbed. That's why. I go for Earthquake, and he lives it. Seeing that he has the Life Orb, instead of going for another useless Earthquake, I'm gonna recover, and this is really, really essential. I would like you to pay attention to this exact move. I'm gonna recover to get back to my Sturdy. And luckily he doesn't die. Had he died, I'd be in so much trouble. Or had he fainted. Pokemon don't die. Okay. So now he goes for another Earthquake. And I recover. Again. Yeah, he goes down to his Life Orb damage. I recover back to full health. Avalag, a beast, taking hits. So this is essential. The fact that I have my full health is very essential. I switch out here because, you know, I don't want to be toxic. I go into my Charizard, expecting the toxic again. And he goes for toxic, as I expected. Now he's down to his last two, which is the Chansey and the Mega Gengar, which are also the biggest threats on his team. I go for a Heat Wave, this does nothing. He goes for Soft Boiled. And I'm gonna slowly go down to my toxic damage. I don't have Roost on this thing. I go for another Heat Wave, just to pressure him into using Soft Boiled instead of attacking. He goes for Seismic Toss, that's good, he's at low health. No, I'm pretty sure that the Close Combat will take it out. Now I go into my sock, ready to go for Close Combat, but I predict the Gengar to come in, because had I went for Close Combat and he switched the Gengar in, I'd be locked into Close Combat and I can't switch out because of Mega Gengar's ability. But he stays in, and that was a critical hit. That's crazy. Chansey has a super bulky. I know it has base 5 defense, which is nothing, but with the Eviolite and the insane HP, it's doing nothing. Look at this damage. So Chansey Soft Boils it again. Now I'm in huge trouble, because Sock is the only thing that can take the Blissey down. And if he switches to Gengar, I'm fucked because of Shadow Tag. So I decide to switch out. Earthquake is not gonna do anything. Go into my Pyroar. I went into Pyroar just so I can bring Sock back in safely and Close Combat. I go for Taunt. I shouldn't have done that, and the reason for that because this will pressure him to switch into Gengar, which is really scary for me. Now I'll go back into my sock. Now go for close combat, which is very, very risky, but thankfully he stayed in, so that's a dead chancey. Critical hit, I'm not sure if it mattered. I don't think so, but maybe it did, considering how well it took the Earthquake. Although I'm adamant max attack anyways. So the Gengar comes back in. He goes for the... I go for close combat because I'm locked into it. And he uses Shadow Ball. This will take my Sock out with one hit, and I can't switch out obviously. I don't want to switch out as well. So I go into my Avalag, my last Pokemon, which has terrible special defense, but also Earthquake, I don't think it will take Gengar out. But I have the Mirror Coat, thanks to Sturdy, or thanks to the Recover that I used. I was able to live that with 28 HP, retaliate with Mirror Coat, and finish the battle. So, thank you Zero for the exciting battle, good game, and hope you guys enjoy, subscribe, and all the other good stuff. See ya!